What's Gucci my ninjas? The rubber notorious. The rubber notorious. MAD. Brr, skirt, skirt. That. Brr, sket it. Brr, sket it. Brr. What's Gucci my ninjas?
Alrighty. What's happening? I'm me, he's him, and we're us. I have a whole intro for my other show. I rarely do it by the way, good on you for being able to do streams by yourself. I would have delayed this until I finally convinced somebody to join.
It's challenging, but I have learned that I actually do have the ability to just fucking roll and just talk. So yeah.
I like it better when I have somebody bounce off of. Anyway, all right. So what
That's
we're doing
always
today?
preferable.
I found this video. I was looking for things to do just in case nobody shows up and I wanted to do a stream. So I was trying to find videos that I could MADfap. Some people call it EFAP, but that's fine. It's MADfap. And I came across this one from somebody called Jenny. I should have wrote it down. What is it? Jenna's movie. Yep.
Hope you're not asking me. I don't know.
So Jenna, she made this video talking about the movie Warfare, which everybody loves. I liked a lot.
Yeah, I'm in that boat. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those rare cases for me. We'll talk about how we feel about the movie just to start it off. But to me, it felt that it was one of those things that it actually could have used character development, some type of story to go along with it.
Absolutely.
Because everything is intense and it's so visceral the way that everything goes down, but without having any connection to the characters, it kind of rings hollow in a lot of ways.
If it weren't for the movie description, because I watched it on stream, I didn't see it in the theaters. If it weren't for the fact that there's a description on the app, I would have had no clue what the operation was even for. They don't say it in the fucking movie.
Oh, I still don't know.
They're supposedly doing sniper overwatch for a fucking Marine operation.
Oh, but yeah,
you don't even see any fucking Marines in the movie.
Two.
There's two. Well, in the SEAL team. But
so they were supporting. They were the camo guys.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like they're supposed to be like a Marine element, like a company doing an operation, and they're doing sniper overwatch. But there's no fucking operation there. It's just snipers looking at shit. You're like, what the fuck are they doing? They're just sitting there.
I didn't even know that's why they were out there.
Yeah, like I said, if it weren't, I saw it in the movie description. That's the only reason I know that, because in the movie they don't explain that at all.
Again, it is it's an amazing technical and accurate depiction.
Yeah,
but it really lacks any type of story or characters to latch onto. So everything is like I said, it kind of rings hollow to me because there wasn't that.
Yeah, the entire movie just starts. I mean, well, obviously it starts with them like, oh, big fucking like, hey, we're all sitting around watching girls dancing. Like, who in the hell ever just has an entire fucking platoon doing that? By the way, it was fucking weird. but then the whole operation just starts when everything goes wrong, and then they're just fucking escaping. Like, what the fuck just happened?
It really goes, man. And it was in real time.
Yeah, it is like action wise and the reality of it all. Obviously neither one of us are Navy SEALs, but we can still feel the reality of it. But other than that, it's like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know what the operation is. Yeah. Why? None of that made any fucking sense.
Well, so for anybody that may watch later, both Adam and I are vets. Adam was Army Intel.
Hey,
not just that. I didn't. Sure. I didn't say it mean like
all I did was sit behind a desk, which I did on my last tour, but neither here nor there.
I was a scout. I was in Iraq. I was in Iraq in 06. But we were hit by the ID in April, so I was gone well before this whole thing went down. And I was in Baghdad. This was in do you remember where this took place? This operation?
It was Ramadi, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Ramadi. And I was in Baghdad. But I did do these exact operations, these OPs, these or SKTs, small kill teams, all that stuff. And because we had a SEAL team working our AO, and they would pull a couple of us offline to help because we would be in there like 2-3 days. and watching like high priority targets and all that stuff, right? And so to help rotate with the because you have the family, same thing, right? You infill in the house and you have the family and you got to watch them. You know, you got one terp with you, blah blah blah, right? So by the way, that was one of the times where I really saw that there are levels to this game, and I was nowhere near because everything they do is so smooth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really impressive, and yeah, to compare like my experience. So my second half of my career, I was in psychological operations. Well, I was supposed to be on a tactical team instead, stuck behind a desk, like I said. But my first two were in when I was intelligence. I was a ground surveillance systems operator with the infantry long range surveillance team, and we would go and do surveillance operations. So similar like you're saying, like our guys would go into buildings and have to infill, exfil, and all kind of stuff. But nowhere to the comparison of what these Navy SEALs did, you know. But we're always, you know, you're always watching for the guys who maybe are looking at your building weird and people who are walking by more than once, like, okay, we might be getting spotted here. So you're very on edge with all that kind of shit.
We were out there one time, and this is just us though. We weren't with the team. I think they had already left our AO or whatever. Anyway, but we were out there, and we were overwatched for a raid that was going to be coming up, right? And so when I was there in 06, right? Right when the civil war between the Shiite and the Sunni just really started popping. And there was these two mosques, and we just watched these guys, like 5-6 guys, run from one mosque to the other one, dot, 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 and then like 3 of them come back, and then 5 guys from the other mosque goes to that one, dot, 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 and then like 3, right? And so we're outside now on one of those rock walls that were in front of the house. And we're all set up, and Sergeant Brown was like, "Listen, if they even look our fucking direction, light them all up. We're waiting on QRF to get out there and shit." And our interpreter, Joe motherfucker, every Joe was Joe motherfucker. They were all Joes, but Joe goes out there, right, and he stands in between these two groups that are just in the street screaming at each other, right? And he just goes, Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad. He looks at the other one, Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad. And some guy comes up to him and tries to shove him with an AK. And I swear, it was like a cartoon, just a cloud of dust. And it's like this. And then the AK was in pieces on the ground. And he says some more shit, and everybody left. And he comes back, and we're like, dude, what did you tell them? I told them who I was. So
fucking gangster.
Well, apparently, before we invaded, he was someone high up in the military.
Yeah.
That was known for how they handle people.
Right.
Like this dude got kidnapped one time when he left our base because he was just walking. And he leaves our fob and he gets kidnapped, right? We don't see him for a couple days, and he comes back and we're like, dude, where you been? And he tells us like he got kidnapped. We're like, dude, how did you get away? They opened the trunk.
What the fuck?
Right? He was the only fucking, like, out of all the interpreters we had, he was the only one I trusted because that dude would get down.
Yeah. I had one time this fucking interpreter. Well, the same interpreter. He wanted to have a gun when we went into a raid for of a fucking city. Like, you ain't get a fucking gun.
No.
But the same motherfucker. We were on a patrol one time, and I look around. He's fucking gone. He went down a fucking alleyway to go to a fucking shop and buy a fucking kebab or something. She's like, motherfucker, get the fuck back over here. What are you doing,
dude? When
Turks are fucking dumb, dude.
Well, when I first came in, I was in a scout platoon with 112 infantry, and when I got moved to 810 Cav, and when they did, they just took everybody from A to H and moved us because we had like 50 something privates with 2 specialists and 1 E7. That's all we had. They didn't even have room for any other NCOs, so they just had to move A through H out. But I kept in contact with some of those guys, and those guys were with the CBS reporters that got hit by the IED when their interpreter tells them pull over because he wanted to go see some graffiti or whatever. And he gets out to go see the graffiti and runs off. And then they can start getting hit by these IEDs. And that's when the CBS guys got hit. And I knew one of the gunners that was on. I talked to him when he got the BAMC.
Wow, no shit.
Yeah.
Fucking wow. Yeah, but like at least talking about this, like you said, like you were there in you said you were in Baghdad at this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually was in Ramadi and Fallujah, first in Ramadi in '05, and we were in Fallujah in '06. So I was in Ramadi not long before this operation happened. I can attest to that. This is the entire Western Iraq was the fucking the Wild West at that point. That was when shit was really going down. That's why they had the Marines in there just fucking shit up all over the damn place. What's up, Sherry?
Hey, Sherry.
And yeah, so I mean, I wasn't there when this happened, but I was there just a little bit before that. Fallujah and Ramadi was fucking nasty, dude. I will say, at least I was lucky that I was stuck behind a fucking desk at that time.
Yeah, it was a little rough over there, but anyway. So back to the movie. We got off track so quick. I knew that was gonna happen.
Like, military guys get together and start telling military stories. So
so I guess our overall feelings is we liked the movie, we enjoyed, we appreciate what it was. It's kind of how I feel about Alex Stein.
Okay.
Right? Cool guy. I've met him. Cool guy. I appreciate his bit. I appreciate what he does. It's not for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Same.
You know what I mean? Like I'm glad that he does what he does and people enjoy it. That's just not my kind of a thing. So I appreciate this movie. I just wish that there was something to grab me, like character-wise, which I think is why Outpost works so well, is because it is very, very, very accurate and true to what combat is, but you actually get to know the people that the story is about, and it's a true story too. Right? It was
I
in
don't think
Afghanistan.
I've seen that. I'll check it out,
dude. It's really good. Rob Laurie is the director. I've got to stream with him a couple of times. Great guy. He directed The Last Castle as well. And
good movie.
He has that new movie coming out with Vic Mackey from The Shield, where he's like a 40-year-old high school football player.
Oh, well, not actually Vic Mackey. You talking about Michael Chiklis?
Yeah.
Okay, the actor.
Yeah, he's in a new movie that Rod Laurie directed, where he somehow he has a year of eligibility left in high school, so he goes back to play, and it's based on a true story.
Okay,
but that's his latest movie coming out. What's up, Zax? So
you got me excited with the Vic Mackey thing. I'm like, I want to see a Shield fucking sequel. I want to see what happens after that.
The Shield was
I just finished that series finally for the first time like 2 months ago.
It's great, right?
Yeah, when it was right after I got back from Iraq in 2004 when I started watching, because it just came out around that time, and I never finished it. And yeah, it's on Tubi now. What a great fucking show.
Do you remember the wipes that we had to check to see if guys were fucking with explosives? Like you wipe their fingertips and it would turn a certain color?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't think I ever actually used it. I think we had like some kind of training on it, but I don't think I ever actually used them.
Oh, we used them all the time. So we had to chase these guys down one time, and we swiped his fingers or whatever, and Starsky was like, damn it didn't come back. I was like, bro, he don't know it didn't come back with anything. Go Vic Mackey that motherfucker. He don't know what it means.
That's funny.
But anyway, so let's get it going. So
sure.
She seems very sweet. She had this little, video essay kind of a thing. And man, she said a lot of things I want to comment on. So I'm excited to see what you think as well.
I'm going in on this raw. I haven't seen this yet.
It's dangerous going raw.
It's not recommended.
I highly recommend it. Right, let's get going.
Warfare is not a movie that is watched, it's felt. It's perhaps one of the most important films for the current state of things. And I have so many thoughts on the meaning of this movie. So stay till the end because I would love to hear about what you all think.
Yeah,
let's talk about one of the most impactful.
What the whole is perfect for the time that we're in?
Yeah. I mean, it's just action. That's all it is. There's no message for it, nothing else. It's just action.
And it's interesting because you really have to dig to take away any types of themes. The director on this was the same director that did Civil War, which I like more than most.
I never saw it.
He did Ex Machina.
Okay.
Which I liked. But he also did that movie called Men. That was and he did the new 28 days, 28 years later.
Oh, the last one, the third one?
garbage, bro.
Really?
Dude,
Ah.
it's so bad.
I just went back and rewatched the first 2 to get ready to see that. I know it was that bad. Fuck.
Maybe you'll like it.
I might.
It's bad.
I liked Superman, so I might like it.
I didn't mind Superman as much as other people.
Yeah, all right. We're in the same boat then.
Movies of this year so far. There are no spoilers for the actual events in the film, so you can watch this.
How could you?
What spoilers?
I don't.
Boom,
you don't.
Bang, and they're gone. I mean, what spoilers can you give?
I would be shocked if you even knew their names, because I don't. I couldn't tell you anybody's name.
No. And I feel like that's being, like mean or something, because these are real guys. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure that they would listen to this and laugh too. So.
Video if you haven't seen it yet. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and here we go. The concept of war provides an endless treasure trove of experiential themes that you can pull from. Tactical awareness, camaraderie, geographical location, love.
So some of these are themes. Tactical awareness is not really a theme.
No. That's a
geographical
skill.
Location is just your setting. Like your
where you are. Well, okay. Yeah.
Of romance, loyalty, brotherhood, and tragedy.
Oh shit! I didn't even catch that the first time I watched this.
Is she talking about in the beginning when they're watching the fucking girls dancing or some shit?
I think she's speaking in generality here about war movies. So you have like Pearl Harbor, which was a war movie, and you had the
hot
the love story. The English Patient.
Never saw it.
I haven't either, but I know it's love stuff.
Who the fuck wants love stuff in a war movie?
Sometimes Braveheart.
That's not a war movie. Fuck off,
bro. What the hell is Braveheart?
The best example of like that, anything like that would be We Were Soldiers Once, because you're showing the wives and what they go through for sacrifice for their husbands.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
By the way, Air Cav. Cool.
Shut the fuck up with your cat bullshit.
The intention of most war films that have
That's the first time I have unironically said "huh" in over a decade.
I decided to rip on you about the cat thing, so the thing.
Theme or takeaway is usually blatantly obvious, spelled out in an easily digestible format that allows the audience to get it without actually getting under their skin. Think something like Pearl Harbor and its love story. Other films do go the distance with their message. I mean, of course, war is bad, but adding gruesome imagery and effects can work against the message of the film.
Can it?
What the fuck is that? What are we looking at?
I don't know what movie that is. It's
gotta be German, but
it's definitely World War II.
Yeah.
Why? While there is nothing wrong with a film portraying the horrors of war, because war is brutal beyond belief, it's just very easy for audiences to be sickened by the experience, but in the end write it off as just a movie to alleviate themselves and the feelings of that experience.
Well, you can do that with anything. You know what I mean?
That's not unique to a war movie.
In Warfare, Alex Garland prioritizes the sensory experience to tell you the story of a group of men, a Navy SEAL operation within Iraq and the Afghanistan war.
Just Iraq.
Within Iraq and Afghanistan? What the fuck?
People link those two together.
Operation over the period of a couple of hours. I'm pretty sure Afghanistan had nothing to do with it.
I think what it is that people automatically link those two together whenever they talk about either or.
Quite a big significant difference between the two.
I can't tell you shit about Afghanisan, nor do I ever want to. Yeah, fuck that place.
Never went. I was getting ready to get sent for a third tour in Iraq, and it's going to be right back to fucking Fallujah again. I said, "Fuck, please send me to fucking Afghanistan. I want to fucking change of pace for the love of God."
Yeah, give me some mountains.
Yeah,
just enough of these
Iraq again. Fuck.
These shit rivers.
Yeah.
Dude, we almost flipped our fucking vehicle into one because we were on like an incline. And right at the edge of one of those, it wasn't a creek, whatever it is, like just a water, but it's all sewage water.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, we had to do a security perimeter near one in Al Hawija in Iraq. It's just there for hours, just smelling that shit.
Yeah. Ugh.
The SEALs recount their experiences in great detail from memory. The film gives you one of the most impactful experiences of war that I have ever seen, a sensory experience, one that cannot just be brushed off after the movie has ended.
Again, though, I think it's undermined by not having anyone that you can latch on to.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I recognize a lot of these guys from different movies.
yeah, the D-Day invasion and fuck, what the hell?
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. I mean, that is one of the most sensory impactful fucking scenes I've ever seen. You know, I know both of us can have some sort of, I mean, well, you more than me. I never got blown up, but you know, you're hearing that ringing and that stun.
Yeah.
And you're literally seeing the fog of war through his fucking eyes.
Well, in this movie does the same thing with the IED that goes off. By the way, what was up with the Bradley in this movie? It looked like shit. You know what I mean? Had no reactive armor on it. How the hell it drove away from that after that ID went off? I don't know.
Oh, I wasn't Cav. I had never even been in a Bradley. I had one experience in an FTX where Bradley came and fucking like helped us get out of the woods or some shit. That's the only time I've ever even been near one. So I never even noticed that.
Dude, yeah, the Bradley that they use in this movie, I'm guessing it's just because that was, you know, they have a limit on how much they can spend or whatever, but the Bradley that they had was like stripped down, had no reactive armor. I don't even know if it had like the side skirt, like the plates. It gets
like you said, I mean, it's the movie. Yeah, they probably just didn't even have maybe just the budget, or they didn't even
That's
have
probably
the
what it
supplies to
is.
put out there.
Yeah, but it gets stood out to me.
I will say this real quick though, that I agree. It was really weird when that ID went off and it's like the Bradleys just all of a sudden just drove away.
Right?
Like that's fucking weird.
Yeah. As well, I mean, I guess it happened because you know what I mean, because this is true.
Yeah, but like you're saying though, there's some details to that was definitely lacking. That just didn't make sense the way it was portrayed. There's something very off about it. Even you know my scene, and I've never been in an experience like that.
Yeah, I mean, for that Bradley to drive like,
yeah, I mean they got treads, right?
Yeah,
you would think that. I mean, at the very least, the tread would have broke,
knocked off a track.
Yeah, track. Yeah.
I don't.
That's a big fucking explosion,
right?
dude.
I don't. I think maybe that they depicted it as bigger than what it was for. I mean, for the Bradley to roll off. They said that the gunner got shrapnel over the radio because I was trying to rewatch it today. But yeah, I don't. And so they had to leave to get their own guys help or whatever.
Yeah,
but man.
I mean, yeah, of course, like you said, like they, you know, that is, I'm sure is what happened as the Bradleys left,
right?
And like you said, yeah, that with that size of an explosion, and the Brad's just driving away, it just did not seem right.
You cannot look away from. The film doesn't just immerse you with the visuals and story. Even in times where the story gets tense, it's not the story that you feel; it's the sound being extracted.
I know why. It's not a big deal that she's doing it, but every time she says story, I'm like, what story?
There's no story.
This is an event. This is something that happened.
Yeah.
But there's no real narrative through line.
Yeah. And by the way, when I was watching the movie and I realized that dude right there is the fucking kid from We Are the
Millers.
We Are the Millers.
Yeah.
I couldn't unsee it. Dude.
I like him a lot though. And he did good in this. Everybody did, very, very, you know, they all did well.
Yeah. There's also the dude who's from
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yep. I love that dude. So fucking good. But I could not unsee him like when he got bit by the fucking spider.
Yeah.
Like, he did great in the movie, but man, that face, dude.
The room.
The guy with the mustache that was on the mattress with the DMR.
You when the sniper?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that got real fucked up.
Yeah.
He is actually. I think he is Irish. I think he's from Ireland.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw him in an Australian show where he was from Ireland in Australia and had like amnesia.
Creating a sense of disorientation.
No, I was just gonna say, it felt real. I'm sure this is actually real, but it felt like I couldn't understand they were stressing so much when the sniper was in his position that he was sweating profusely. He was struggling. And I'm sure that must be from reality, but they didn't portray why. Like I wasn't a sniper, but like I've laid in surveillance sites for days at a fucking time, you know, holding up fucking binos and whatnot. And I've never had any kind of a struggle like he was. I couldn't understand what was so difficult for what he was doing. And
it was November too. So the heat isn't a huge factor in November.
No one else was sweating but him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We were getting mortared. Like they had this truck with the mortar tube on it or whatever, and they would pull up and blow, right? So we went out and we had to, man, just be in the mud because I was there during the raining season. So we were there in the mud for like 2 fucking days waiting on them to show up. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But then again, it was raining the whole time, so there wasn't a lot of sweat. But
there is so much happening on screen, but your ears aren't picking up all of it. It's muffled. It's like you're looking through a sound-dampened glass structure as you take in what's happening on screen. And don't get me wrong, what's happening on screen is intense.
So that is something that stood out on my second watch today was the effect of everything being muffled, because I was hit by 3 different IEDs. The last one was their best one, right?
Jesus but yeah, Christ, man, you took 3. Holy fuck!
Yeah, well,
man.
one was a Coke bottle fucking IED and a fucking little market thing.
All right.
I was fine. It put me on my ass, but I was fine. Our first sergeant though, he went deaf in like one of his ears after it, but. Yeah, man. And then another one was in a log, so it contained more of the explosion than what they probably intended, so it didn't do a lot of damage to us.
Yeah. The most I ever even had to go through was like mortars at Camp Ramadi, or it was Camp Blue Diamond at Ramadi, and like none ever landed near me. We had a rocket hit near our fucking base in Kirkuk, but I mean that's the closest I ever got to anything like that.
Man, we had a sergeant. He went to go buy a webcam, and on his way back, a mortar fucking hit. It like shattered his arm or whatever, and he got sent home. He's like, man, and I couldn't find my fucking receipt because I couldn't. That was his first thought.
I heard about a guy when we were in Fallujah. It got hit with a fucking mortar when he was in the fucking shitter.
Oh, really?
That's a fucking bad way to go.
Oh, that's a rough one, man. Yeah.
Not only are you getting fucking killed, you're getting all that shit on you too. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hence, there is an all-out firefight happening. There are bombs going off. The lack of sound is juxtaposed by moments of intensely loud sequences where we switch perspective from one character to another, or maybe the character's sensory.
Oh, okay. So you see the Bradley
changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Dang it. I
Is going off. The lack.
Oh wait,
I know what you mean by the reactive armor for anybody who's watching. Yeah, the reactive armor. So that's all they look like little boxes all over all of it, right?
Yeah,
and they're like it's like little explosives, right?
It's filled with C4. To go out instead of in. Yeah. We got in trouble once because we stole the Sergeant Major's reactive armor. But in our defense, though, it was just sitting in a pile, and we lost ours because I hadn't driven the Bradley since I was in OSUT at Knox, and so we lost a couple of guys, so we had to rotate people around. So we didn't take out the Bradley all the time. We had a Humvee as well, but whenever I take it out to turn, it's a tracked vehicle, right? So it's weird. It goes against what you think because when you turn, you have to accelerate. Because if not, if you try to slow down like what you would in a car, it starts to jump like just bounce back and forth as you're doing it. And so your gunner, his eyes bouncing off the scope in the turret. You know, in the BC, the sergeant, he's bouncing off his chest is bouncing off of the hatch he's in, right? And so the only way to counter that for me was to power slide. So I power slid every turn I did, and sometimes shit would fly off the vehicle, cones. You know, the C wire would fly off, and we'd have to stop, and the Humvees would have to get out. Like guys in the Humvees would have to get out and put it back on the vehicle.
Everyone's yelling at you.
Yeah. Well, one time we got back and I noticed that something looked weird. I'm like, Brandon, come over here, man. And I'm like, dude, is something look weird? He's like, dude, we're missing 2 blocks of the reactive armor. So yeah, we talked to our supply sergeant about how we can get it, and he's like, "Listen, I don't care." He had a list. But he goes, "Listen, I don't care what you have to do, but you're gonna find that shit, and you're gonna have it back on that fucking vehicle before anybody fucking notices." Bro,
So you
we're
stole from the first sergeant.
yeah. Well, no, Sergeant Major.
Sergeant
We're
Major.
two. We didn't know we were two E4s, man. So we're rolling around trying to see who didn't leave their, who has their shit unsecured, and there was a big pile of it. So we pull up, we'll grab a couple, and Brandon's like, "Hey, we should probably grab a couple more." I'm like, "Absolutely," because this isn't gonna be the last time this happens to us. And as we do that, these Dodge Ram pickup trucks just come flying out of nowhere, and they get out like, "Hey, fucking stop right there!" I look at Brandon. I'm like, "Brandon, man, you got more time in grade than me, so you can handle this."
He takes the blame.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't the sergeant major. It was the sergeant major that caught us. It was actually the generals. I'm sorry. I forgot. Oh, this general already hated us because of this. He saw pictures of us because we took glass from the Humvees and mounted it on the top of the turret of the Bradley for protection for those guys when they're standing up. And so a guy comes out, he's like, "Let's take pictures of it." And he wanted Brandon and I in there, and we put our sunglasses on top of our head. And this general, like, that's his like big pet peeve is these sunglasses. Anyway, so we were already on his radar. So this sergeant major hops out. He goes, "Hey, do you know whose fucking reactive armor that is?" And Brandon goes, "Oh, we thought it was community reactive armor, sergeant major. Like, hey man, if you need a couple, swing on by and grab them."
Right.
And apparently, when he went to go tell the general, he was in a meeting with like all the units or whatever, and our LT, the one was in there because the CO was somewhere. And this is what the LT told us, right? So the sergeant major walks in, kind of whispers to him, and the general goes, "Wait, what were their fucking names? Why do they keep fucking with my shit?" And he's like, "Who do they belong to?" And LT was like, they're our guys. Look, they're idiots. They're good guys. They mean well, but they're fucking idiots. We'll take care of it."
Oh man.
Anyway, let's get back to this. That dude did not like me.
Yeah,
The
I
lack
wonder
of
why.
sound is juxtaposed by moments of intensely loud sequences where we switch perspective from one character to another, or maybe the character's sensory experience changes within that scene. Either way, the experience is pretty jarring. This is how I can only assume war must feel. Human.
Yes and no. It's when it happens, right? Whether you're taking fire or it's an IED or whatever, everything is slow, but it's moving quick. You're picking it up slow because you're heightened. Everything's heightened, so you're seeing everything at a higher frame rate, I would say, right? Even though it's moving quick.
I'll use an example. I think one of like the first times that we were in a serious situation on my first tour in Iraq. We did the invasion of Al Hawija, and we were put on a road intersection to monitor. And right when we got there, it's the middle of the fucking night, and there's a wood line, and all of a sudden, like a half dozen to like 9 dudes, something like that, came out of the wood line with fucking guns, and my team leader was with the interpreter talking to a local. We're behind rocks. They don't see it. And this felt like it took like 15 fucking minutes because we're looking at these guys through nods, night vision. They don't know we're there. They're heading into the city. And I'm like, making my way, gun up, watching these dudes as I'm going over to my team leader to get the interpreter, tell these motherfuckers to put their guns down. And it felt like forever. It took less than a minute, I guarantee. But that intensity, when we realized, like, if they knew we were only a 5-man team, they could have lit us the fuck up. They had no idea how many people we had. So when the interpreter got to them, and they all tried hiding their weapons behind rocks too, like we didn't fucking see. Like, motherfucker, I'm watching you and what you're fucking doing. But, yeah, that intensity, dude. Your adrenaline just fucking peaks all of a sudden, and you're right. Everything just slows down. Like every time I think back on that, it just felt like it took forever before I could get to my team leader and get him to get the terp to do what he had to do.
The same thing happened when I was a cop, right? Which is why muscle memory is so important. And the thing about it, like, because when your adrenaline's that high, you lose that fine motor skills. Like, so trying to do anything like where you have to just use like 2 fingers to move something or whatever, you know what I mean? It's a lot more difficult, which is why like when you're a cop, you gotta draw whatever you do for it to become muscle memory. You have to do it like 1,000 fucking times, right? So you want to draw, you want to know where everything is on your belt, and you don't want to move it around a lot, because when you're in the shit, you're gonna reach to where you are the most used to it being, and if you had moved it, you're gonna fuck it up.
Yep.
I was fighting with a guy one night, and this dude Cat, who was community police before he came to us, so he was a bitch, and he shows up, and I'm like, "Yo, spray this motherfucker!" Right? And he pulls out his magazine and goes, "Oh nope, that's not it." Puts it back in, because he's trying to remember where the fuck he put his OC, because he's all freaking out because I'm in a fight. By the time he found it, I already had the guy on the ground and in handcuffs. I'm like, just forget it now. God.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Wow. Yeah, that's worth a good ass tune right there.
Oh, dude, I hated it.
Humans are guided by their unique sensory experiences, so this makes sense. War must feel like all senses have been heightened, with the most
like
important
Spider-Man.
senses being visual and hearing. Both are advantageous in wartime.
In taste, man. Whenever like we were in the shit and I would lick something, I'm like, man, I can taste all the flavors of this.
Yeah. The biggest thing, like we're talking about the shit rivers and the smell. Like,
oh yeah, that does. Yeah.
Smell is like, I don't know why, but smell is like the biggest memory impactor.
Oh,
whatever.
Absolutely, bro.
And yeah, I have had those moments where like I'll smell some fucking sand and it'll smell like, and immediately it just gives you a flashback to Iraq because it smells just the fucking same. It's absolutely fucking real.
Luckily, I haven't came across a lot of bodies, so I don't have those, like, you know what I mean? Those memories just like pop in or whatever, but you get used to that smell, but it's never, how do you say, like, it's never something you just like, oh yeah, it's a body, I can smell it all the time. You know what I mean? It still affects you, even though you're like, you know, if that makes sense.
And I do want to comment on the what we went to before. She was talking about the difference in the characters. Like you're saying, like, yeah, I don't remember any of their fucking names.
Nope.
I didn't even know who the fuck was who. Like, who was a Marine, who was a SEAL, who was the fucking, like, you kind of figured out who was an officer and whatnot. But I think we even had, like, I don't know who the fucking UAV guys were they Air Force but the difference in the characters, like, you did figure out who the new guy was, you know, the new guy energy, and you could see the realism, even though, like, I've never been a SEAL, but you can see, you know, that uniqueness of the way he acted compared to the experienced guys. There was, you know, you saw the uniqueness of it, like after the ID went off, and there's, you know, you see what these guys are the trauma that they're going through. Yeah. Because it's the one who got blown up, and he dragged what he thought was a dead body of the
this
SEAL
guy here.
Was it? No. I think it was the Stranger Things guy, wasn't it?
No. He was the one that woke up. Yeah.
Okay. So, but in any case, yeah. After the ID, and he's bringing the guy in, and it looked automatically like I thought the same thing. It was good what they portrayed in the movie, because they even made you think the same thing he was thinking. This dude's dead. He got fucked up. He's dead. And he's watching, and he's trying to help he's trying to help Stranger Things guy. And he's looking back over at whoever the other guy, I don't know if he was an officer, this dude, but he clearly got fucked up in the head. And I will say they portrayed this really well, because he kept looking over at him like weird. Like he wanted to tell him, stop what you're doing. He's dead. You're wasting your time. And all of a sudden he pops up and he's awake. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So I will say, like, the difference in the characters, at least the feeling that you're getting, what they're going through, what they're portraying, what's going on in their head, whether it be, you know, the shock from the ID, or they're just scared or whatever, they portray that really fucking well. So she's right on that, but I still have no clue who the fuck each one was.
There was one guy that was watching the window, and after the ID, you could tell, like, he's like trying to pump himself up to go help, because he's like, oh, you know, come on, do it, you know what I mean? But he just couldn't do it, which I really appreciate it, because I've always talked about how everyone wants to think that they know how they would react in a situation like that. They know what they would do, and it doesn't matter how much training you have. It's built in your DNA on how you're gonna respond. I've seen the most like high speed, low drag, like the motherfuckers that were in Garrison right before we ever deployed, and like this guy right here, he's the fucking, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna make Sergeant Major. And when shit happened, they froze the fuck up and they couldn't do anything. And then you would see guys that were considered shitbags in Garrison, like myself. I was a horrible Garrison soldier, but yeah, like, not just me, but like others, right? That were considered shitbags, but they stepped the fuck up, man. They got shit done when it, and you don't know. And I think for a lot of guys, it's probably better that they don't, because I think that it's better not to know than to know you wouldn't do anything. You would freeze. You would be that guy and live with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when I went on my first tour in 2003, I'd already been in the army for 3 years that time, so I've tons of fucking training. You know, I've been spending 3 years with an infantry long range surveillance detachment, a bunch of fucking hardcore rangers who kicked my fucking ass because I wasn't infantry, and so I thought I was all kinds of hardcore, like you're saying, like you think you know. But the first time we were in a firefight is when we our compound was getting ambushed, and we just hopped out of our fucking racks, PT gear on, just throwing fucking body armor, no nods, no nothing, just looking into the fucking dark, and just you end up just like there's a guard tower that was firing, and we just saw the traces going, and everybody's yelling fire, 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 and I'm like, okay, well I guess I'm aiming in a general fucking direction. I know what I'm shooting at, and all of a sudden like everything just fucking tensed up. Yeah, as I'm getting ready to pull that trigger, and the thought just really went in my fucking head. Like, not that I directly thought it, but like the reality did hit me. I am potentially about to shoot a human being. And when I pulled that trigger for the first time, I just instinctively I closed my eyes and I like looked away. Like,
it's
course,
not an
back,
easy
like,
thing
I feel
to
like
do.
I'm a fucking bitch, but it's just, yeah.
Even when it's you would think that it's muscle memory, it's just reaction. It's not. There's, because everything's slowed down to the point to where you do have that moment of contemplating on what you're about to do, and it's I don't care who it is on the other side of that barrel. It's not easy, because that shit chips away at your soul.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's not. It's something that you have to learn to live with rather than get over.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just like, you know, I dealt with it, you know, I grieved, I did all this, and now it's gone. No, it's there. It's a ghost. It haunts you, but you have to learn how to live with it.
Yeah, and that's where I'll give her, you know, some credit, you know, a little bit of her description here that this is extremely real, and you know, and it's very realistic, and they portray it very well.
It's not like this movie is the first to do this, but it does it in a way that I believe no other film has. Not to mention, these are real experiences of the soldiers involved and the family that was invaded during this time.
Okay, I hate that phrasing, that the family was invaded. Right.
I will say, like, when I saw that, I did think that was fucked up.
That's what we had to do, though, because you're in a major. I don't know anything about Ramadi, but Ramadi. I mean, Baghdad is a major fucking city. It's huge. It's populated. You know, so to get anything done, everyone is going to be embedded in the city, in the mahallas, right, in the neighborhoods. They're going to be in those houses. So the only way to counter them is, especially if you're going to be setting up a raid and you need Overwatch, you have to be in a house across. You have to be a house that has a line of sight on your target.
Yeah, I completely get that. But I mean, I've never been in a situation like that. You know, we never operated in big cities. You know, my father was in a small little fucking, it's almost a fucking village for how small it was.
Yeah. No, I was at Falcon, man. We were right off of Iris and Arrows, and like within probably 45 minutes from the green zone.
Okay.
From Prosperity. So
yeah, so that's a major fucking area.
Yeah. We were in Baghdad, West Rashid, Baghdad. But so the thing is, so this is 06, right? I was there in 06. They get it, you know?
Yeah.
So when you go in there, it's not anything unexpected or new. They're surprised that it's their house that you're going to be in.
Sure.
But they do get it. And there was a percentage of the population who did want us to to get rid of them, you know, because they were being as affected like everyone else. Because when you let these guys live around you, bad shit's gonna happen, either directly from them or indirectly because of our actions onto them, onto the bad guys. So a lot of times they're like, do you, bro? I remember that's what one of them said, it like, do you, dog? And I was like, cool.
Yeah. Like I said, at that time, I was deployed to Western Iraq in PSYOP, and part of what I did was getting all the. We didn't get intel reports, we got PSYOP reports, where our guys who were boots on the ground was telling us what the mentality was of the population out there, and also we also did counter PSYOP operations, so we were always collecting intel on what PSYOP the enemy was doing, and the enemy out there was extremely fucking effective. I mean, they had their own PSYOP products. They would go to fucking schools and bring fucking school supplies like pencils and whatnot that have fucking messages on it, and it's all in fear. You know, they put out videos, and these fucking, you know, these terrorists with fucking masks over their head are handing out fucking pencils and shit and saying, don't work with the Americans or you'll die. Yeah, that was their message, is you will be killed if you work with the Americans. So I mean, yeah, it was pure terror. And yeah, you're right, of course the population did not want them around, but at the same time they were being very effective. So
home was invaded during this time. There's no music in the film either, and admittedly, music in a movie can make it somewhat manipulative. It tells you what to feel and when to feel it.
I don't know if it's manipulative. It can be. Music can be like the way that Disney Star Wars would use Luke's theme or Leia's theme to try to generate those feelings you had for them, for these new characters, right? That was being manipulated. But music can enhance the scene.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to enhance what they want you to feel, the emotion they want you that wants to be portrayed for the scene that's happening. It's not manipulative; it's an enhancement of what the movie's already showing.
I guess using manipulative in like the most academic sense of the word, without the negative connotations that may come with it, because you can manipulate somebody for the good. Or influence. I think influence probably would have been a better term. Influence.
You're right. I mean, yeah, manipulative does make it sound like it's supposed to be, something nefarious. But it's still this. It is a bad description. But I will say this: that like a movie like this, you don't need music. As compared to like Gina Carano's fucking Western movie, really could have used some damn music,
because it stood out. Because there was so many scenes of where there wasn't a lot of audio going on, a lot of you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Those dead air kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of times in that movie where it's just like, there's just a gap, and it's like, okay, now I'm falling asleep because there's nothing going on.
That was something that stood out to me when I saw that movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, all around it was a decent movie, but it really would have helped to have music. A movie like this absolutely does not need music.
I do think that if they. Maybe not in this, but I do think it's effective when they do have music, and then when the explosion happens or something fucking happens, they cut the music, and you combine that with the audio effect of having that muffled sound after having your bell rung or whatever.
Yeah,
really works well together, because you have the music and then it just cuts out, and then you just have that muffled sound to it.
Yeah, I like it. Like I like it in space movies, when like all of a sudden like you'll cut like a something, a character like gets thrown out from the fucking starship or whatever, and all of a sudden everything goes silence because there's no sound in space. That is a very eerie and very well done effect.
Yep, agreed.
Taking that away made the film seem more true to its mission. Tell a story about what war really looks like, not a flimsy characterization of what people think war looks like, or about heroes and
I mean, what's up? I'm just saying, like, this is kind of like a flimsy character because there's just nothing to it. It's just an escape operation. It's just them getting out. Their mission failed and they're fucking leaving. I mean,
right, but it's not. I think what she's going for here, it's not a depiction of what people think it is. Like, I don't know. Let's think of a movie like Hurt Locker, which is a fucking embarrassment and insulting with the way that they. Because that is the other that's the other side of the spectrum here, right? You have this one that has really zero story, zero character development, anything like that, and then you have Hurt Locker, which sacrificed any sense of reality,
Yeah.
of accuracy, or just in just how people and how guys would talk to each other. They abandoned all of that because they wanted to tell their story, and the only way they could do that is if we're not gonna do anything close to how it really is.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good comparison. Okay, yeah, I jumped on that a little bit too quickly without thinking about it.
Bad guys. The actual story about how it feels to be in that position, how it feels to come up against the potential that you may die or that your friends may die. Some people online argued that because the movie is from a Navy SEAL's perspective, that it lacks accuracy.
Yeah, and it lacks a real baby.
Because it's from the Navy SEALs perspective, it lacks accuracy. How dare you, Slender, coming in here with this shit? He said, man, I absolutely loved Heart.
Hold on, I got something for you here.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
So just to let you know, you are the exception. I have banned soundboards from my channel because of the way people will use them.
Yeah,
that was very well done.
Some people, yeah, I hate it when people go on other people's channels and just overuse their fucking soundboard. Like, come on,
I hate it when they do it on their own channel. I'll be on the channel.
Yeah, you criticized me for that. Fuck you. People love my soundboard.
So yeah, no. What bothers me about this is like how it lacks accuracy from because it's from the Navy SEALs perspective. It's not as if they just talk to one guy. They talk to everybody on that team. Yeah. So you piece things together. You know what I mean? When we got hit, the reason why I know everything that happened really is because I talked to everybody from different perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for one thing, when I got out of the vehicle and I got into the dirt and I put myself out, Lance came running up to me. He was the first guy I saw. And I remember being on my knees and looking up at him and saying, I'm fine, go check on the others, right? And then he left. And when I'm talking to him, he's like, no, bro, you didn't say anything to me. What the fuck? Why the fuck did you walk away then?
What the fuck?
Yeah, but from my point of view, though, I thought that I would talk to him, but apparently I didn't, So it's little things like that you can actually piece together by talking to everybody. So this story is woven together from all their different POVs that they piece together to have the most accurate. It's the same way as when they wrote the report, right? The after action review and all that bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have all the different statements.
Right. Yeah, and I can't remember what example is. Someone was talking about an operation where there's a lot of misstatements, and people were saying that it's actually acceptable that a lot of people are going to be inaccurate when it comes to a situation like that, because a lot of times what our brains do when you're in a high intense situation like that, sometimes your brain will just fill in the gaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you're saying, like you didn't actually say anything, but your brain filled in the gap that you said, go help the others.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely a real thing.
Most books/movies from soldiers' perspectives are fraught with lies and controversy surrounding the true events. And
I don't care for such a broad brush of saying most books or most books in movies.
Most books/movies from soldiers' perspectives are fraught with lies and controversy surrounding the true event.
Yeah, that's a broad claim right there.
I know Cal. Was it Cal Reese?
Kyle Reese,
the sniper from the American Sniper. That guy.
Oh, okay. What was his name? No, not that's not Kyle Reese. No.
Wait,
Reese isn't Reese from
Terminator?
Terminalist.
Okay. Oh,
Terminator 2. Yeah, also Terminator.
Chris Kyle. Thanks.
Chris Kyle. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So his book, there was definitely a lot of hyperbole in it.
Yeah.
In some parts, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, after the movie came out, everyone's coming out, that there's so much bullshit, especially the portrayal of him as a husband and everything. Like everyone's like, this dude's a fucking asshole. It's not a big surprise. A lot of SEALs and combat guys go through that kind of shit but
yeah. But to say most though, it feels...
no, of course not. And I think maybe what she's actually getting on there is because of a lot of the controversy that's been going on recently.
Right.
I mentioned before the stream Valhalla VFT. He's actually one of the big proponents right now who's been calling out special operators' lies. He's one of the big reasons why what's his face, who was UFC and did Hunt and Hitler, special forces dude.
No. What?
Trust me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Someone in the chat. It's come out that the guy is completely full of shit. Like his combat actions and everything that he's claiming, it was like nothing is true. He claimed that he had a Bronze Star of Valor. He did fucking not. Claimed he got a Purple Heart. He did fucking not. Makes all kinds of claims, and everyone who was on his fucking ODA said that he is completely fucking lying. None of that shit happened.
Oh, dude. It happens because when I was at BAMC, I mean, we had some guys. We had one dude. When I was there, it was Med Hold. It hadn't turned into like the Wounded Warrior or the WTU Warrior Transition Battalion, WTB, right? It was still just Med Hold. And we had a mix of guys that were coming back from downrange at Fort Sam, right? You had all the medic training, the AIT shit. And when they were injured for whatever reason, they would be sit there too. So we're actually mixed with these guys that are in AIT with us coming from downrange. Didn't always work well. This one guy, I mean, he would just run his mouth at night about this, about what he did that, he did this. And then one day, a couple guys saw him at the hospital. Slick, man. Not even fucker was a E1. No pats, no nothing. And two amputees. I think they were missing opposite legs. They beat the shit out of him that night.
Good. Yeah. So yes. Tim Kennedy, Slender Dad says Jocko's actually been called out for a lot of bullshit too.
Really?
Yep. And even so much as I can't remember his name, but the guy who supposedly killed Osama bin Laden, he did not. He was the fourth man in the stack. He shot Osama bin Laden, but he shot a dead body.
No.
Yeah. All this shit's been coming out, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there. Like the special operations community right now is just fraught with fucking bullshit.
Last one. We had a guy there. He had a scar on the back of his head from like the bottom of his neck all the way up almost to the middle of the top of his head, right? And what he said happened was, right, he was on patrol. He was a dismount patrol, and they got ambushed, right? And he was the only one that lived. And he thought he got shot across his mouth because it knocked out his teeth, but it went through the back of his head. And when they found him, he was still pulling the trigger, but there was no rounds left in his magazine. And that's why he had that big scar. What really happened was before he deployed, I think they may have been in Kuwait, he slipped in the shower and busted his head open. Wow. And that's how he ended up there.
Wow.
Yeah. The other story is a lot more cinematic, I guess.
Yeah. There's no story I could tell about a guy who bullshit a Purple Heart, but I'm not going to bore everybody.
Yeah. We should move on. Yeah.
And for that reason, that makes this movie seem like it has no merit. But I would argue that these people are missing the point. The idea is not to give the most accurate portrayal of this particular event. This is not a play-by-play interested in accuracies and monotonous facts about what actually happened. Warfare means to give the audience the most accurate portrayal of what war looks like from the perspective of people that are within its walls. It doesn't matter that their memories are potentially exaggerated. It doesn't matter.
I'm confused what the difference is between what she just said.
It's
not focused on the accuracies of this, but it's focused on the accuracies of that. I don't understand what the difference is.
So I think what she's saying is that the movie is trying to focus on the experience one has in combat versus an accurate portrayal of what happened in combat.
I mean, it was an accurate portrayal both, though.
It absolutely was. Yeah.
You know, like I was complimenting it earlier about, we were talking about the differences in what the experiences were of each of these characters, of each of the different SEALs. But I mean, yeah, you definitely get that, but it's an accurate portrayal both.
Right. I think that the issue here though is, all right, I'll see you later, brother. I'll see you tonight actually on Sin and Art.
See you tonight in bed. Sorry.
Sorry, that would get me so distracted. Yeah, well, let's move on. I forgot what I was going to say.
My bad, dude.
No, you
completely derailed.
Matter that they're perspective is skewed. What matters is that these experiences sit with soldiers in this way, because war is not an experience that happens in one way. It happens in many different ways because everyone's perspective during that time is different.
True. Yeah.
That's the same for everything in life, though.
Also true.
If we had gotten the perspective of the family whose house had been used as the backdrop for the events in the film,
That's a lot better wording than the family who was invaded, whose house was invaded.
Yes.
could guarantee you that there would have been a much different story there. But as it stands, does it matter? There are no heroes in war.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This is you mentioned this.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'll let her finish this little bit.
There are only
Okay.
people. Everyone thinks they're the good guy. Everyone thinks that the other side is the bad guy. And no matter what perspective you look at this from, everyone is changed. Everyone has suffered immensely from problems that could have been solved in pretty much any other way.
Okay. Before yes. I think not everybody does, but most people, if you go to war, can understand. Let me see if I can articulate this better. At least after, like, you know, when we all go in at like 18, a young, dumb, full of cum fucking little bitch who thinks he just wants to go blow shit up and fucking shoot the bad guy. You don't have a comprehension, but at least after one tour, you see some shit, then you can at some point humanize and understand what the opposition really is. And I definitely especially got this when I was inside, because you have to actually do analysis, target audience analysis, and you get to understand why these people and the mentality of what they're doing is. They do think that they're doing the right thing. They think they are the good guy and we are just evil, that we are the bad guy. And that is everything throughout history, 100%.
Right.
There is no one saying, I will be the evil dictator. No, it's not really what happens.
What? Oh, so a couple things. One, I joined for a free T-shirt that I never got. Everybody knows that story.
Right.
So I wasn't looking to blow shit up. I just wanted that T-shirt. I was really high that night. I think so. My platoon, we were really over everything. Like, we were very like, like everything we did was kind of sarcastic, and we didn't want that motivated talk. Like, oh, you know, we're out at night, you know, sneaking around. We're like, just let us know what we got to do, and we'll do it. Right? That's all we wanted. We just tell us what we need to do, what our mission is, and we'll get it done. We don't need all the extra hype around everything, you know. And whenever we dealt with people, it was pretty chill, man, unless they you know what I mean, unless they cross that line, and then it's an entirely different game. But while I do agree that yes, the other side thinks that they are the good guys and we are the bad guys, the difference is in the way that they execute their plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we were bound by so many SOPs and so many eyes on us, and just from a morality standpoint, personally, I could never abuse a detainee, or, you know, I mean, it tore us up when we were getting small arms fire from my house, and we put a 50 cal hitting that house, and the velocity from the rounds just messed up this little girl's face, because of how close the round was, and it tore that shit tore us up. You know, because we had our humanity still, but it's not the same for the other side.
Well, you're right. I mean, of course, yeah, we do know that what they do is truly fucking evil. But what I was saying is they don't see that, though. You know, they are really bad guys, and they are really, using human shields and all this fucking shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did do that. They absolutely fucking did. You know, sending children with a fucking bomb in their fucking hand, sending women out of fucking suicide vests is pure fucking evil, but they don't see it that way. They still think they're doing a mission for God. They think that what they're doing is good. So, yeah, it's not like, I was talking about from everyone throughout history. The Nazis thought that they were the good guys. They thought they were doing something good for Germany and everything, but obviously, killing fucking millions of Jews is kind of fucking evil.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, that's some shit that's fucked up. Yeah,
but of course, they had it in their head that Jews are dirty, and I don't have to go into the description. Everybody I think knows and understands. This. Even though of course Trump is now literally Hitler. No, so, and yeah, of course, on our side, we are doing good. Yeah, we have rules. We're not gonna hurt innocent people. At least we try not to. But yeah, and what she's saying here is like, I'll say this too, that like, you know, any Medal of Honor recipient will, you know, people call them heroes and everything, and they'll never fucking accept that. I wasn't a fucking hero. I was just one of the other guys, and I just was just doing my job, and that literally is what everyone fucking does. You know,
Yep.
I know,
I've never thought of myself that way. I've never been easy with somebody. I don't even like it when people thank me for my service, because every time they do, or like you're at SeaWorld and they're like, all the veterans stand up. I don't, because I guess I can't put myself on the same level of like the Vietnam guys, like what those fuckers went through, both there and back home. Not to mention, you know, World War II, Korea. I don't put myself in. For me, those are like, thank you for your service, guys. Those are the guys you thank for their service. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because of, motherfucker, we had internet. It wasn't great. Went out sometimes, you know. we had
my second tour. I had a fucking Xbox hooked up in my fucking bunk with a little TV.
Bro, I had an Xbox as well, and it was jailbroke, so like you could play anything. You know what I mean? So we had a love seat in one of our rooms. So just to try to, you know, I can't ever put myself onto that level. But,
Sorry, continue.
No, but back to what she was saying though about, you know, everybody's perspective and everything. Yes, I agree that that's what they think and that's what we think. However, if you're looking at it from the outside, it is clear. You can clearly identify the good guys or the guys who try to be as good as possible.
Yeah.
You know, with a few exceptions, right? Both bad apples and also events that happened that were purely accidental. You can separate them from those other motherfuckers who did some evil shit to their own people that they're supposedly fighting for.
Yeah, but again, I think like, and her point, I think, is the same as mine. Is just they still don't see it that way. They still think they're the good guy. But even though, we agree that they are just pure fucking evil.
I've never heard of Matterhorn.
Carl Marlins.
I'm gonna write that down. All right, let's see what.
But still, we choose to initiate war. People choose to blindly go into every situation thinking that they are good guys. So much so that things start to blur a bit. It's not like there's an easy answer either. I'm not saying that. And there are so many more questions here than answers. I don't think there are any answers here, actually. In a perfect world, no one would go to war, and there would just be compromises that made sense. Is that reasonable in the current state of things? No, probably not, because there exists a world with oppressors, greed, and hostile takeovers.
In a perfect world, lions wouldn't eat gazelles either.
Right?
There's death in all of fucking nature.
When I first watched this and I saw when I heard her say oppressors, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to pick up on some of your thoughts on other things as well. You know, because
she looks at like this administration as being oppressive.
Well,
is that what you get at?
It's the idea of the oppressor versus the oppressed, right? It's the unicause, right? It's the we protest, we fight against anything that is oppressor versus oppressed. So that's how you get your free Palestine. That's how you get your LGBTQ plus 2AI rights, blah, blah, blah.
IP and a sound number 2.
all of those. You know, it doesn't matter even if like the people that are in that cause would absolutely hate you because of the way you live. It's that unicause. It doesn't, because you're just trying to take down the establishment of who you think the oppressor is.
Yeah, well, Kara Smith calls it the oppression Olympics. Yeah, it's just whoever they decide is the most oppressed now is the group that they're going to champion for. So
yeah,
I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
So it was just a red flag for me.
You cannot compromise with the subjugation, enslavement, and annihilation or potential annihilation of an entire ethnic group or of people in general. But to never question for whom you do your bidding is a mistake, because the subjugation isn't limited to those you fight.
What the fuck does any of this have to do with this movie?
Yeah. Steven recognizes in a minute. Okay, I kind of went on a tangent there, but
no shit. It's a Navy SEAL sniper operation that goes bad and then they escape. That's it. What does this have to do with oppression, all of a sudden subjugation and shit?
This comes from there's such a lack of a narrative in this movie and characterization that people are latching onto themes that in some cases maybe they're even projecting onto it on what, because Alex Garland does have a reputation for his viewpoints in a lot of ways. If you saw Civil War, how similar it was to current people in power, and some of his other things, right? So you use that and you kind of like, oh, he's trying to say this, when really he's not. You're picking up on details that aren't actually there in some ways.
I'm kind of looking at this as this is just somebody who's trying to pad the time on there to get over that 8-minute mark and get 2 ads on this video.
I 100%, in all honesty, I think that everything she says here is coming from a good place. She seems like a good person. So I don't want to.
I know that was kind of mean of me to say, but I did look down like, oh, it's 9 minutes exactly, and so
I didn't catch that. Yeah, he made Ex Machina as well.
Yeah, I mean that really is what YouTubers do. You try to get at least 8 minutes so you can get double the ad revenue from the video.
I had no clue that was a thing. I'm the worst YouTuber. Yep. Even though I'm the YouTuber's YouTuber, but that's because they steal all my shit. Anyway,
it includes those.
Yeah, it's just because anything below 8 minutes and you only get the ad at the beginning of the video. But yeah,
who fight on behalf of empires, who use their people as sacrificial lambs to further their greedy agendas. Many times you are just as enslaved as the people you fight against.
That feels a little hyperbolic, if I'm being generous.
Many times you're just as enslaved as the people you fight against?
So one, I don't like the juxtaposition of we're fighting against enslaved people or oppressed people, and I also don't like saying that serving our country is as though we're just as enslaved.
I remember I went to a 10-year high school reunion, and at this point, I think everyone knew I was deployed to Iraq and all this. There was this girl who I knew she was like a little fucking like kind of hippie chick, but now she's full on lib. And she came up, she was like stoned or something, and she came up to me, Adam, I am so sorry. Like, for fucking what? And like it wasn't until like later on, like that was fucking weird, and I realized like she thought that I was like, a Vietnam, like I got sent to Iraq against my fucking will or something. Like, I joined on my will, and like I wanted to go kick some fucking ass after 9/11, right? But that is the mentality of some of these fucking people. Like, so like we get sent to war, and like they, these anti-war type of people, they think that we're doing it against our will, and it's so awful and everything. It's like, nah, dude, like we want to be fucking Rambo.
If I wanted to, again, for me, it was a little different because if I wanted to, like, man, they tricked me with that fucking Army commercial. They had that T-shirt on there. I was high, and I was like, I really want that T-shirt, so I called 1-800-GO-ARMY. That's how they got me. And they made, and I became a scout because they showed me a video. It was like doom buggies and dirt bikes and people popping out of the wood lines. Like, sign me up for that shit. So I think I have more of a case of like, man, they got me. They tricked me. I was manipulated through my highness.
I was completely different, man. I was 4 years in junior RTC. I was like Army all through fucking high school. Couldn't wait to fucking get into the Army.
And you have more in common than you think. Finding that common ground is one of the most important things you can do to make sure you take care of yourself and the people around you.
Finding the common ground with the guys you're fighting has no impact on taking care of yourself and the people around you. No. Our priority above all, above the mission, above our country, or in whatever reasons that they say that we are there doing what we're doing, your brothers to your left and your right come above all that.
Absolutely. It is supposed to be mission first, but you're 100% right. It's all about just, helping out your buddies when you're out there, man.
The way I've described it is being there. It was like being at summer camp where you're cut off from the world, right? And friendships are made, and they're intense, and they're hype. Like everything's very hyper, like. Or intensified because of being cut off from everything, and you're kind of stuck with each other. Now you combine that with a city of millions and IEDs in the roads and people trying to kill you all the time. It gets, it's 10 times what you would experience at like at a summer camp when you find your new best friend or whatever. So it's kind of the same thing. So it your bond with your brothers there is to a level that you will never understand unless you've been there.
100%.
I'm off script now. I think this is probably one of the most important messages that Alex Garland has been trying to convey and probably will continue to convey throughout the next couple of years or decade, however long it takes. I think just watching his work throughout the years have such a path of don't allow yourself to be controlled. Don't allow yourself, even Ex Machina, you could look at Ex Machina, you could look at Men, you can look at his body of work just says something about what he wants to say. And that's every director. And for what he wants to say specifically, I feel like it is something that resonates with me on a much larger scale. As somebody who has dealt with mental health issues especially for the past year, I think that it's not just important for the outside world to not control you, but for you to also not be controlled by the things that go on internally.
I agree with that. You definitely don't want to be controlled by things. I do think that this isn't scripted, which I appreciate because I never script shit either. I just roll with whatever I'm saying, but all my shit's silly anyways. You know, I've never done a serious video yet. I was working on one, but it wasn't even serious. But
well, I mean,
yeah.
she did even say though, she just went off script.
Oh well, yeah, but that's also a coin of phrase, right?
It feels very scripted to me. At the very least, I think she has footnotes.
Nope.
Like, okay, talk about this, talk about this, and talk about this.
But it's different though. So she's personalizing it with her own experience about this whole being controlled thing. When you're in the military, you are absolutely being controlled.
Oh, 100%.
In a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it's not absolute.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, you always have you have your orders and you have your SOPs and everything, but it's still up to you on how you operate, whether you follow it or not, and how you interpret. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, because that's how it would happen, right? They would have their meetings and give out the missions, like whatever we're going to be doing. That goes to our platoon leader. Our platoon leader comes to our NCOs, our platoon sergeant, right, and says, "Hey, this is what we're supposed to do," right? And then the NCOs have to make sense of what they want us to do, because they want us. I mean, the way I've tried to depict it is that, like, if you have point A is where you're starting, and point B is where what they want you to accomplish. Their mission, what they think that they want to do, is to just do circles around fucking B for like goddamn 3 days until you finally somehow ended up on B on accident, and now they get fucking medals. But it's the NCOs that have to try to work a way to accomplish what their goals are.
Yeah, that's the tactical element, is the boots on the ground and how you operate. And one thing you can always expect is just never expect anything to go right, or absolutely better terminology. But yeah, and that's obviously where you get the good soldiers and the bad soldiers, is how they operate in the field when things go bad.
And a lot of that depends, because it varies on the leadership of those above you, right? Because if they're very micromanaging, you may be able to get done what they want you to get done, but if something goes wrong and you're not there to guide them to what you need them to do next, they're not going to have that experience of knowing how to accomplish something without being micromanaged. So that's why leadership is so important, and you can tell the difference, man, when you're working for somebody that's on their shit, that's really look good, and an absolute piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, whenever you have good leadership, it's that kind of leader you want, where you'll walk through fucking fire for that guy. And when you have that kind of leadership, then you will do what he tells you to do. But if you have like an example, my dad was in Vietnam and his team was constantly getting sent to an area where they're always getting fucking shot. Like leadership didn't care. You're going to go there anyway. So then one day they went to a fucking mountainside that's completely on the other side, and they just, yeah, we're over there. Oh, yep, nope. Because they did, yeah.
All right, let's
but this specific movie does seem to speak to a larger concept of what's going on in our world right now. And so it's important to understand that war is not something that you should want.
Agreed.
Yeah, everybody agrees. I've said this for a long time. The people who rattle the sabers and call for war, the last are the ones that have experienced it. It's always the ones that have never actually been in it that are ready to jump to in today's environment, like civil war, right?
Yeah.
It's the guys that have no idea what it entails and what it costs are the ones that are like, it's war. We have no, brother.
Yeah, and there are people out there, specifically like a lot from one political side of the aisle, who think that those of us who are in the military, that we're all pro-war, that we just want to blow shit up, which, like I said, like when we were dumb fucking 18-year-olds. So yeah, and I even remember like one of the elections, I think he might have been during the Bush era, maybe it was Obama, and one of these shows like had this fucking ditzy girl in there showing all the candidates, and she goes to one of them who's a general. All right, well, let's go to war. Yeah, let's get a general as a president. Like, motherfucker, you have no idea that guy doesn't want to go to war.
No, yeah, and it's I forgot.
War is not something that you should strive for. It is not a fun experience that you're not going to go in guns blazing and come out a hero.
I've seen people that do it. I mean, my brother Andrew, my buddy Andrew, dude, when we got hit, he jumped out. The ramp didn't go down when I tried to lower it. It just popped off the hinges because the whole vehicle was dead, right? But he hopped out the back door, threw off his gear. He was fine. But the medic, who we didn't even know his fucking name until we got to Bamsey, because it was his first day with us. This is his first day out the wire. But he's in the vehicle, just sitting there on fire. And Andrew jumped back into the burning vehicle. He escaped and grabbed him and dragged him out. A stranger. I get that we're all brothers because we're all in the army, blah, 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 blah. But that was a fucking stranger. That wasn't one of us. That was a guy we've never met. And he still jumped in, burning his hands in his face from dragging him out and saving his life. That is a hero.
Absolutely. And yeah, not going into great detail, but I mean, there's plenty of stories I can recall where it's like, looking back, like, that was fucking cool. You know, obviously what you're talking about wasn't a cool scenario. That's a fucking hero. Somebody,
it was hot.
You want to go in. You want to sacrifice yourself to save your buddy. You know, I met 3 Medal of Honor recipients from the 173rd Airborne Brigade at a reunion from, they're all part of the operation from the documentary Restrepo when they're in Afghanistan, I think in 2010. And the one of them, Staff Sergeant Junta was his name. He was the first living recipient of the Medal of Honor since Vietnam. And he earned it because his team got assaulted and they were trying to evade, and the Taliban fucking got a hold of one of his buddies and they're dragging him away, and he just instinctively just turned around, fucking killed all his motherfuckers and grabbed his buddy and got out of there. Unfortunately, he still died, but that was a heroic thing to do. You know, he went himself alone. The rest of the team didn't even know what was happening, but that's just instinctive for guys, who are out there. I can't say that everyone could do it. I've never been in a scenario. I feel like I would hope that I'd be able to do something like that. But again, he never wanted to be called a hero. He was just,
right.
Like I said, I met him. He was just a normal fucking dude. He didn't want to be called a hero or anything like that. He actually hated all the hero worship because people were just surrounding him all the fucking time. He fucking hated it.
The guys that always come to my mind are the 2 from Black Hawk Down. The snipers in the helicopter, because they asked over and over and over again, even though they knew what it was going to cost, and they still did it. That's the thing that stands out to me more than anything, is the ones that know, it still put themselves out there.
Yeah, that's, absolutely incredible. They knew 100% they were going to die, but they wanted to go down there and help that guy no matter what. That's absolute heroism right there.
It's just going to be bad. That's just how war is. It's bad. It's sad. It's tragic. It'll forever change you. Even if you think that it won't, it will. So,
I don't think there's anybody who has any conception that they're not going to come out changed.
Oh, for yeah, and also it's crazy because I've had this thing where it they need to do a better job about who. I think there should have been a better screening. I know that we didn't have the numbers, so they just let fucking everybody in. Neck tattoo, don't give a shit. Felonies, we'll waive it, right? But they should have done a better job of screening psychologically, because if you send a crazy person into a crazy scenario, it's not like a cartoon when somebody gets knocked out by getting hit in the head with a 2x4. If you hit them in a 2x4 again, they come out of their coma. That you don't send crazy people into a crazy situation thinking that they're going to come out sane.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of the fucking the toughest operators out there, whether it be Green Beret, Navy SEAL, you name it, a lot of them are pretty fucked up. I was just watching the Sean Ryan interview with one of the dudes from 13 Hours from the Benghazi incident, and like that dude revealed in that, like, that dude was beaten, sexually abused by multiple fucking adults as a kid, had a horrible fucking experience growing up, and that's the reason why he goes into something like that, because he was a fucking psychopath, man. But like I said, some of those guys, you need psychopaths to do crazy shit.
Okay, that's a valid fucking counter. I appreciate that. That's a really good counter I hadn't thought of. Because when I think of it, I was thinking of like Birdall. Whatever happened to that fucker?
Oh yeah, Birdall, that fucking traitor. Is he still? No, did he get out of jail? Because they sent him in, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in. I know. I heard there was this NPR show called This American Life, I think, and they had a series of podcasts about him, which was very interesting because there was a director, I forgot who it was, that was going to do a movie about what happened to him. I don't think they ever made that movie, but yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. That whole fucking scenario.
Yeah, well, shitbirds like that, and there's also the guy in Korea who went AWOL and went into North Korea to get away because he's going to face UCMJ for like PEDO shit.
Oh shit, really?
PDF file or whatever, what we call it. Yeah, do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, it was just a couple of years ago. Like, yeah, he was in transfer. He was getting transferred by the MPs to an airport to fly back to the States, and he fucking left the airport. Like, I don't know why the fucking MP wouldn't just stay there, make sure he gets on the fucking plane. But yeah, he left the airport, took a fucking ride, and then went to the DMZ and fucking ran into North Korea. Yeah, so shitbirds crazy. Like that yeah, you definitely need some fucking better scanning to make sure motherfuckers like that don't get in the military.
Well, all right. So to wrap this up, though, so yeah, Jenna's Movie Lobby is the channel. I have both her channel and I have this video for sure linked in the description of this stream. Although both Adam and I did disagree with a few things that she said, I think that everything she was talking about, she came from a good place. It wasn't. It was nothing about it was nefarious or intentionally disrespectful at all.
No, Jen, if you're watching this, I will apologize. I know I was probably nastier than I should have been, but I mean, just actually more my sense of humor than anything else. But I mean, yeah, I don't think she had what?
I said you're old and cranky.
Oh, that too. Yeah, look, I got plenty of fucking gray in the beard to show. But no, I mean, I don't think anything was nefarious. I don't think she did anything intentionally, anything wrong. I just vehemently disagree with a few of her points. But other than that, I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Anyway, wow, that was pretty good, man. Hour and a half. That's not too bad. Too bad of a MADsplanation.
Yeah, we're MADsplaining.
Anyway, thanks to everybody that was here live. I didn't even realize what time that I was going to do this. I was like, oh, Friday Night Tights is happening and all these. And I was like, why didn't Adam tell me? Like, hey, bro, maybe we should do this a different time.
I assumed you knew. I was really watching FNT right before I came on.
I'm not subscribed.
All right, he wants to do it while FNT's on. All right, let's do it.
Subscribed. But maybe this will pick up some traction on a rewatch. Who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, if you are watching on the rewatch, why weren't you here when we were live? Do better.
Yeah. What? You prioritizing a little dinky channel like Nerdrotic?
Adam, you got anything coming up, brother?
I'm trying to do a daily show now. So somewhere around like noon to 5-ish, I'm doing daily shows and did really fucking well yesterday. I was really surprised. It's my first time live streaming in quite a fucking while. Hold on, I was gotta have my sound effect when I do this. I did my knife hands last night. Yeah, check out the Daily Show to sub over here at Vets Talking Shop G, and you'll find me and ring the bell. And yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, Soul Assassin dropped it in the live chat. But
yep, appreciate.
Thank you so much for being here. I would have never done it if I was by myself. I would have just postponed it as long as I could until somebody finally gave in and joined me. But I definitely wanted it to have another vet on here because it's, it hits home for that. But I may do this more often. But Adam, thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody that watched live. Thank you for watching the replay. Subscribe, blah blah blah. Do those things and stay Gucci. And we out
later.
Now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy? Yeah. Yeah, that's real good, Law Dog, because law just don't go around here.
Hey, Law Doggy, law don't go around here. And I say, hey, Law Doggy, law don't go around here. They keep on chasing me, raising me, been such a good time. Women and beer, yeah. We burn some bridges, bridges they fall. You're no daisy at all. They keep on calling me, want me to put it down. Oh baby, run to me, don't go, don't burn this town down.
I want you to know it's over. Bye.
Skirt, that, brr, skirt, tat, that. What?